Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Esthetician Edit. Today we are here with Cecilia Moron from Cici Skincare, and I am so excited to chat with her. We have a lot to get into about how she's grown her business so much here in Miami, Florida. So I guess if you don't mind, first start with sharing like where did the name Cici Skincare come to be? Because I know you said that you kind of had like a
Yes.
little alter ego, I think. Like, so if you
Well,
don't mind
thank you
explaining.
for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Actually, I started as Cecilia Aesthetics,
Uh-huh.
which is my first name, but a lot of people couldn't say my name for some reason, which it was odd to me. So I was like, okay, they will call me Celia, Cecile, many different variants. So one day, as I was building my first room, I was like, I need a name that everybody can pronounce, and that's how I made it like international. So
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, Cici is like the international, variation for Cecilia. So I started calling myself Cici, which at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning was weird because everybody always called me Cecilia, since I was little. So I kind of like took this personality of like, I'm Cici Skincare.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I changed my name.
Did taking on the new name kind of give you like help you step into a new role as like Cece, like an alter ego, would you say?
I will say yes,
Mm-hmm.
because Cecilia in her private life, it's totally different than Cici the esthetician.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I feel more free when I'm talking to my clients,
Mm-hmm.
with a Cici. Like, I'm Cici, your friend, your esthetician, the person that is here to help you,
Yeah.
right? When I'm Cecilia with my friends, even though now everybody calls me Cici, even my family, they
Mm-hmm.
started calling me Cici. It's a different persona. It's that girl that was an immigrant that moved to
Mm-hmm.
Miami, that was, hustling to be somebody in their life,
Mm-hmm.
versus Cici is like the professional,
Mm-hmm.
the person that has a dream and a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've grown so much in the past few years. Like I met Cece at a Reiki class, and so she's
Yes.
really always trying to bring in different things into her
Mm-hmm.
spa. But it's just amazing to see how much you've grown. And I will tell people like I told two people that I'm interviewing you today, and they know like I say, "Oh, with Cece
Really?
Skincare." Yeah, you're like well known. Like you
Oh,
have like a
thank
name in
you.
Miami. So,
It's funny that you say that because I don't feel it that way.
uh-huh.
I still feel that I'm learning, that I'm growing. It has been huge learning lesson having my business.
Mhm.
I made mistakes. I have to start all over again. But it's funny that you say that because my sister was in Colombia a couple months ago, and she was getting a massage by a masseuse,
Mhm.
and she brings me up into the conversation, and the esthetician or massage therapist was, oh, I know her, I follow her, I follow your sister. And I was like, oh my god, like that makes me so humble,
Uh-huh.
because I also admire, many people in our industry. So when
Mhm.
somebody tells me like, oh, I know from you, or like I admire you, to me it just humbles me. Like,
Yeah.
I think one of the things when I first became an esthetician was, as much of a success that I will have, I
Mhm.
always wanted to keep myself grounded.
Mhm.
And I think that I being accomplished in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, super grounded.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning.
Hmm.
What first inspired you to get into aesthetics?
This is a very kind of like funny story.
Uh-huh.
I was laid off of my first corporate job. So I
Mhm.
was born into a very traditional Latin family, right? You have to go to school, you have to go to university, you become a doctor, a lawyer, a business person, but you don't go to beauty school. That
Mhm.
wasn't a choice for me. Even though I remember growing up, I love beauty. I was always with the magazines. My cousins will make fun of me because I was always looking at magazines about makeup and just, seeing people feel beautiful through
Mhm.
beauty.
Mhm.
So when I started my first corporate job, a few months later, they call me and they're like, you have to be let go because there is no budget. It was a nonprofit organization,
Uh-huh.
which I loved because it was helping people, right? So I loved enjoying the interaction with the clients, helping them buy their first home and all of that process. But when I was let go, I got so upset because I was not in control. It wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I went home crying. I was mad. And I said to myself, what job can I do that I would never get fired from? Right? That was really my thinking. It's like, which job will never fire me?
Uh-huh.
And I started searching on like on Google, like trying to find like careers that are so much in demand.
Mm-hmm.
And something clicked in my head, and it reminded me how much I love beauty. And I knew I didn't want to be a hairstylist. I knew I didn't want to be a nail technician. But, looking on Google, I found this course that said paramedical esthetician.
Mm-hmm.
Become a paramedical esthetician. I was like, okay, this sounds curious. Mind this, I was probably like 23, 24. I had never gotten a facial in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I would use the skincare, but I never experienced what was a facial. So I decided to sign up and just go get information. So I went, I got information. I didn't have a job, so I didn't have money to pay for school. So I was in my last semester also at FIU. So I had to finish, right? I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm almost graduated. My family cannot complain what I do anymore. So I went, and I remember the advisor asking me after the tour, what is holding you back? Why you don't say yes right now into enrolling?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I don't have the money. Like, there was no financial aid, there was, no help. So I'm like, I don't have the money. Like, I was just fired. I'm still at FIU. And that guy was like, if I get your loan, if I get your private loan, will you enroll?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. So he's like, okay, I'm going to call you. I'm going to do your paperwork. I'll call you later if you are approved.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me that afternoon, and he's like, you're approved. So I was like, okay, I'll be there in 2 weeks. And that's how I started.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was, I guess God guided me.
Yeah, I feel like when something's meant for you, it's easy.
Yes.
And then when it's not, it's like hard. It's almost like you're fighting against the current.
The current.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was obviously meant to be.
Yeah, it was meant to be. I mean, I loved my job in the nonprofit, but at the same time, I know now that I needed to get fired so I could find my truth, passion. Yeah.
And I'm sure your job too, like in the nonprofit, like you like helping other people has kind of transformed into your business now.
Yeah,
For
because
sure.
we're helping people.
Yeah.
Like, we are helping them not only to look better, but also feel more self-confidence, to walk down the aisle secure of their skin, feeling happier.
Yeah.
So it definitely helps people in a different way, but more rewarding to me as well.
Okay, so what did the early days of your career look like, and how did you build your skills and confidence as an esthetician? So, like, tell us a little bit about like baby Cici
yeah.
Skincare.
Well, baby Cici had her first job, and it was for a big corporate. I mean, like a big chain. They had an esthetician in their new location, and I got hired. I'm so excited. And all of a sudden, it's like, well, your training is not going to happen until after the inauguration, where I was supposed to do influencers. Like, I was supposed to do facials on influencers in the grand opening. And I didn't have training. I had this big skincare line that I didn't know how to use. So my first day doing a facial, I throw the product into the client's eyes. I didn't know how to pop a pimple. Like, it was like the most like nerve wracking situation, because I'm supposed to do this for like, these people that are here like coming to promote the space, get an experience, and I'm here like just going around with the basics that I learned at school. So it was chaotic.
Did anyone notice?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely the influencer that got the products into her eyes noticed. But at the same time, it was a grand eye-opening, because that taught me that I had to invest in continuing education. that made me see that me working for somebody else, I was limited to what they could offer me, you know? So imagine, like, I had already been hired for 2 weeks and they never even set up a training for me to learn their protocol, their skincare line, nothing. So
Yeah.
that pushed me to get out of my comfort zone and open my eyes that this industry was way bigger from what I thought. So I started, every paycheck that I could, every class that I could afford, I would put it towards that. Like
Yeah.
I will take classes, I would join Facebook groups to learn from other estheticians. So yeah, it was chaotic, but it also pushed me to the next level.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to like the real estate industry where there's so many real estate agents, like there's so many estheticians, and it's kind of like it could be a revolving door.
Yes.
Like especially when you work for like a corporate chain, I don't know if they care about you as much, so it's just like, okay, next esthetician. So it's like you have to care enough about yourself to invest in yourself
Yes.
and your future and to be the best.
Yes, and that is something that when a new esthetician asks me, I'm like, invest into the continued education. Like, put it on a credit card, get a loan, ask your mom. Like, I remember at the time, I would ask everybody, like, oh, what do you want for your birthday? Oh, can you get me this course? Can you help me with this? Like, I would ask whoever I could that they were offering help. It's like, hey, this is what I need and this is what I want.
And
Like,
for like a new esthetician, what would you say is like you feel like they need to take this course, like they should be learning this?
they definitely, you know what? Before they start taking dermaplaning and microneedling, they should be learning facial massage. They should be learning flow. They should develop their hands, because when you first start, I'm sure it's happening to you. You don't have much of like a financial situation where you can invest in all these machines, And let's be honest, every single week there is a new machine.
I know.
Every single week there is a new product. So it's really hard to keep up when you're first starting. And everybody is telling you, this is the best device. You're going to make your numbers with this. This is the best product. When in reality, it's your hands. Your hands is your biggest asset. So learning how to use your hands, to me, that's your investment.
Yeah.
And that's what I did when I first started. Like, I started my room with a steamer, a $200 microdermabrasion from Amazon, and my bed.
Yeah.
And that's what I work on, was my hands and how to use the products. Like, learn product knowledge. Like, invest your time into learning vitamin C, retinol, mandelic acid, like, understand how they work together so you can advise your client and they can get results.
Yeah. Those are the best, my favorite ingredients you just mentioned.
I'm so in love with mandelic acid lately. It's
Me
like,
too.
when I look at my clients coming back after a month, and I'm like, what are we doing?
It gets rid
Like,
of the
the
like
texture, the briny. It's just magical. Everybody
Yeah.
should be on mandelic acid.
I agree. Okay, so you started out working solo. What were the biggest challenges you faced in those first months or years?
My biggest challenge, it wasn't getting the clients, because as we were talking, I started doing like Facebook ads here and there. I partnered up with other providers in my area that they would refer clients to me and I would refer clients to them. My biggest challenge was making my business profitable. When you're first starting and you don't know your numbers and you're just buying things because they're out there and they look good, but then you're not really looking at the cost of your service, then that's when we get confused and we think that because we're charging $200 for a facial, we're actually taking home $200.
No.
And we forget about product costs, location costs. We forget about taxes.
Yeah.
So that was, I would say, my biggest challenge at the beginning was, how can I make my business profitable? How can I take it to the next level? How can I afford to buy this machine? So it was challenging, but also I feel I was lucky in as when I started, because God started putting the right people on my way to guide me through that. And sometimes there were clients, sometimes there were just other estheticians that were like, hey, do this instead, or read this book, or join this master class, So I feel that I was guided throughout my path, in the
Yeah.
beginning, but it was definitely challenging because you start comparing yourself, you know. But I want the hydrofacial. Like I didn't get I'm being an esthetician since 2015. I just got a hydrofacial, I believe, a year ago, because it, you know, like how I was saying, like there's so many things out there that you're like you get distracted.
Yeah.
So it was that was the challenge. It was
Yeah.
making your business profitable so you can make smart decisions.
Yeah, you think that you need to have like a specific machine in order to be successful.
Yeah.
And then you're like left with the machine and you're like, I have to pay like $1,000 a month for this machine.
Yeah.
I would say I have to learn how to say no a lot.
Yeah, I have two machines that are there
Uh-huh.
that I barely use, that they were definitely not a good investment. Not because they're bad machines, just because it wasn't catering to my clients and my goals. So that's the other thing. You really have to know who are you catering to, you know? If you are investing, I don't know, on a radio frequency machine, but you're treating teenagers, maybe you're not gonna need that machine. Maybe another machine is better, you know. Like you have to see who's your clientele.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, so at what point did you realize that you couldn't go any further alone? And was there a specific moment or situation that pushed you to expand?
Yes, it was God. He put me to rest. I was working like 9 to 10 p.m. sometimes.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
I was very booked, working sometimes Monday through Sunday. And I was, you know, I was feeling it. My body was feeling it. I was getting very inflamed, getting very tired. And I started, you know, I went to the doctor. I'm like, why is this happening? And I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease. And every doctor or person that I talk was, you need to slow down. You need to eat at your time. You need to take some days to rest. So I had to learn how to balance my personal life with my professional life. So that's when I said, I need help. I need to get a bigger location, get another, you know, an esthetician to work with me, build a team. You know, I knew I always wanted to have my business growing, but I never knew how. So when that happened, it was like, okay, this is the time. Like I have to do it for me and for my clients, because I needed to show up for them. Like I love being with the clients. For me, telling a client no, it's not that it's hurting me financially, it's that it hurts me emotionally.
Yeah.
Like I want to be with them, I want to help them, you know. So it was that moment when I had to also put myself first. I need to learn how to put myself first as well.
And did you struggle with like letting go of certain tasks and just trusting others?
Yes, 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 yes. You know what? But I struggled because I didn't know better. You know, like at the beginning, I was so afraid of sharing my knowledge and everything that I learned with a team member, which is funny because I was never afraid to share it with just another esthetician. Like anybody that would reach out to me, and or like friends in the industry, they were like, hey, what are you doing for this? What are you doing? I will give them ideas. I would tell them like, oh my God, this worked for me. Do it this way. But when it came to building my team at the beginning, it was a struggle because a lot of people are always telling you, oh, be careful, they're going to steal your clients. Be careful, they're going to, you know, just get trained and leave. So that stayed in my mind. And it took me a while to understand that I couldn't have that mindset.
Yeah.
You know, it took me a while to understand that I needed to set them up for success. And in order for that to happen, I need them to show them everything that I knew.
Yeah.
So it was a struggle at the beginning, but I think now with the program that we have created to train our team members, I think we have become very successful because of that. It's part of that.
So in your program, is it like you've created like kind of a guidebook of like what it is, like customer service experience, like things like that, very like a training book?
Yeah, we have like an operations book.
Okay.
My partner and COO is the one that takes care of all the business side of it, and he trains them into the operations, like the text messaging, charging the clients, selling, and all of that. And I focus on hands-on training and product knowledge. So that's my specialty. My specialty is building your hands. And I love doing that. I love when an esthetician comes to me and they are not fully developed, and I love seeing how they are able to move their hands to give the piece that the client needs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the best.
Yeah.
And it's rare these days because everything is like slap a product on or
Or
use
a
a
machine.
machine. Yeah. I'm like I work part-time obviously doing this, and so I have my suite. There's like no one there, so I brought on two girls. And I'm feeling what you're saying because I'm such a giving person naturally
Mm-hmm.
that like I've given them access to all my courses and just like
Mm-hmm.
everything that sometimes I get a little bit scared. I'm like, I don't want to be used, but I have to get over that. So listening to you, I'm like, okay, there's hope. And I think also being more clear, like clarity on your guidelines and
Mm-hmm.
just treating it. Someone once said like you have to um make your business like if you want to be a huge spa that has like 20 multiple employees,
Mm-hmm.
you have to already start
From
implementing
zero.
those
Mm-hmm.
things now, even if you're a small business with one employee.
Yes, and I think that helped me too because I started building the structure
Mm-hmm.
since I was in my first little room that my clients remember until now. It was super loud, nothing to do with my aesthetic
Yeah.
now, but they were so faithful to me that they, follow my journey, and that's what I did. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was building those a little bit of those operation systems so I could have a better understanding
From the beginning.
from the beginning.
Okay, so okay, branding. Let's talk about branding because you're really good at it. And I don't know if does it come natural to you or is it something that you've had to outsource?
I had to outsource this.
Okay.
One of my friends actually is the one that helped me.
Mm-hmm.
She's a marketing expert, and as I was growing out, she told me like, Cici, we need to do a branding. We
Mm-hmm.
need to change things for you so everybody starts recognizing you by certain characteristics. So that's when we created like a color palette, my logo, my website.
Mm-hmm.
I made it more professional. Like I already had an idea, but it wasn't fully developed. So she
Mm-hmm.
helped me develop it, and we merchandise everything. Like I usually give my clients every time they buy like a bag with my logo, my name,
Mm-hmm.
like the paper that we wrap the products has our logo. Like I learned that I think that came naturally because
Yeah.
I'm just a huge gift giver.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to give my clients, oh my God, like I have this makeup bag, like take it, So, and it
Yeah.
has my logo in it and they use it everywhere. Sometimes I see their stories and they're like at the beach with my bag. And I'm like, wow, like this was meant to be just for your skincare, but you're using it for something else. Like
Yeah.
I love it. Like even my cousin, she uses this on my nephew. That's where he puts all his toys whenever they take him somewhere.
Uh-huh.
So it's just a way that your name is always out there.
Yeah, I think that's why people already are starting to like really recognize you when you just say Cici Skincare because like I already have your brand identity in my head like purple, and then even the lighting for your videos are
Mhm.
very specific, and then also too how you show up on stories and you're always sharing your skincare routine, like that's like you show you a lot also.
Yeah.
How do you find like the confidence to show up online and to just share everything?
I had to build it. At the beginning, I felt so awkward sharing myself and talking in camera. I'm usually very shy, I'm more
Mm-hmm.
introvert. So it takes a lot of me to put myself out there and share my thoughts. It's still a work in progress because even now, sometimes I disappear for a little bit because I'm like, oh, I don't really want to be there. Like, like I'm focused on other stuff. So, but I love sharing my skincare routine. I love sharing what I do in general that it's gonna help other people. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I share lipsticks, eyeshadows, whatever. Like I
Mm-hmm.
just love sharing what it works for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also staying honest. Like I try to maintain my brand as honest as possible. That's something that I teach my team members because I'm like, listen, we're not gonna do a $500 service if this client is not gonna benefit from, right?
Mm.
Like we can build towards that, but it's staying honest to yourself and to your brand.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lesson that I learned from the beginning too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you get carry on and you're like, oh no, but like I wanna sell the $500 facial, but it's not the best option for
Yeah.
that client. So I'm like, no, like let me stay
Yeah.
honest to that client and to my brand.
Yeah, and I think you win more with that client in the end because they trust you more and they will come back.
Yes.
For
I
sure.
like to build a relationship with a client.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never like I'm not the type of esthetician that is like, oh, to work with me, you have to buy these 10 products on the first appointment and you have to buy 6 facials. I'm opposite, and I know that many estheticians operate the other way, but for me, that doesn't work. For me, is your first facial is me getting to know your skin, me getting to know how your skin reacts. Then I start building, like a protocol for you. Then I have a better idea. Okay, what are the next steps that we're gonna take?
Yeah.
And the same thing with the skincare routine. Like if my client already is in a skincare routine that seems to work for them, I let them, choose what they want to use at the beginning, and I let them like see an experience for themselves if it's actually working or not. And then we start changing things. I'm never like a person like, oh no, you need a 10-step routine.
Yeah.
No, I start with the basics. Yeah.
I do the same thing. I think they appreciate the products more too, because they'll be like, okay, this one product is working for me, and then they're ready for the next one.
Yes.
Also, if you assign a 10-step routine, something happens to the skin, you don't know
You
which
don't
one.
know. And I always tell my clients, listen, because sometimes they want to buy 10 products. They're like, no, give me everything. I'm like, no, you barely clean your skin in the morning at night. You're not going to do the 10 steps as much as you want. I have to build that confidence in you that the products are working little by little. So I have to baby steps. Just get a cleanser and a moisturizer and an SPF. Start with that. Once you see that that's working, we're going to follow up into the next products. Yeah, I don't like to oversell when they are not really used to skincare.
Yeah. Okay, so what's been the hardest part about balancing being a service provider with being a business owner?
It's super hard. I love so much being with a client that I always thought I didn't want to be out of the treatment room. But as an esthetician and owner, like I need to also give time to my team. I need to have time to train them, to make them successful. So it's still a struggle that I have, and it's a constant battle for me because I enjoy my clients, but I also have other goals, like I want to keep growing the business. I want to learn more things. I love taking classes all the time. So even if I'm not going to be the one doing that service, I just like to learn like what's out there. So it's a struggle. I'm still learning. I haven't find the answer because I'm still seeing clients.
Yeah. But I think like the more you learn, like the fact that you go back and your initial impulse is to help and to teach, that makes you also be the best because you're becoming the teacher, right? So when you put yourself in that role, you're becoming the expert.
And that's what I was talking with Steven, my husband, because when I started building my new team and I started training them, and I also realized that we have a huge lack of education when it comes to hands-on in the schools. I was like, you know what, like I remember that one of my dreams and goals was eventually want to have an esthetician school, right? So I was like, I remember so much my passion for teaching and helping somebody build their dream that I was like, you know what, Steven? For next year goals, you have to add aesthetic school. So we need to start doing the research of how we're going to make that work. So that's why right now I'm transitioning slowly to cut my days at the spa seeing clients.
I love that. That's actually when I was in school too. That was one of my it's like because you're just there and you're just like, I see so many girls that in my class joined and then their inspiration, like their spark kind of just died. I think because I was in the industry beforehand and I saw how successful you can be, I was just like, okay, school is just like a ticket in and that's it. But if you don't know that and you're going to school and that's like your first impression, also could be like your last impression, you're like, I don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah, we had really bad experiences when we were hiring at the beginning of the year because we were interviewing. I was willing to hire brand new estheticians and I'm like, okay, I'll just train them. But honestly, they didn't even know how to wash a face properly. So it was too hard for me to give the opportunity to somebody that I knew I was going to require months into training. And I couldn't, like I didn't have the time to do that. So that's that's why it was like, no, I need to build a school that is actually gonna allow people to get a job the moment they step out.
Yeah.
Because that is why estheticians are like a year with their certificate and their um what's the name of the thing that they give you,
The
the license,
license. Yeah.
and they don't find a job.
Mm-mm.
Like if you go to Indeed, everybody's hiring 3 years of experience and over,
Mm-hmm.
because the unfortunately the schools, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
are not doing a great job giving them the skills that they need.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, you're gonna have the best school in
I
Miami,
hope
Florida.
so. I hope so. I
And if you
love
ever
to
want me
do.
to like teach a class on marketing or anything, I'm there. Because I feel like
Yes.
we need to be like well-rounded in everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just
And also
skincare.
the holistic part.
Mm-hmm.
I always say there is has to be a balance. Like I always tell my clients, it's not all about chemicals. It's not all about just plants.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find a balance that works for each person.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit in training and hiring. When you started hiring, what qualities did you look for in your team? Or let's just say, like, if you're looking for anyone to join CC Skincare, what do you look for when you're hiring someone new?
But now we
Uh-huh.
have a whole process. It takes us about 3 months to hire an esthetician, because I don't do it alone anymore. When I
Mm-hmm.
first started, I wanted to hire anybody that would come to me and say, "Hey, I want to work for you." I'm like, "Sure, come." Like I'll make room for you. Like
Uh-huh.
come work for me. But I didn't have the intention. I didn't have a clear intention of like what type of team member I want to bring,
Mm-hmm.
right? What are the skills that they need to have? So that I learned to do that when I brought in my partner as my COO, and he's just a master in operations. So it's like, you know what, I cannot do this by myself. I
Mm-hmm.
need you to help me hire, and then we created a whole hiring process. So right now we have an avatar for our team member,
Mm-hmm.
right? The person, besides having the skills or certain skills, it's also personality. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very like holistic in like a little bit intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
So when I meet someone, it's like the feeling that they're giving me,
Mm-hmm.
and I look into their touch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I use Steven as the model for their practical interview. And if I'm looking at their hands and I see that they have a good flow, I'm like, okay, Steven, I need you to get out of the bed. I need to feel these hands. And that's when I know. I'm like, when
Uh-huh.
I feel their hands, it's like, okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like the perfect fit.
Yeah. It's like kind of a gift
It's a
too.
gift. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a gift. But it took me a while to create the whole system. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do it alone. I will be honest. I will be lying if I'm here sitting. I'm like, oh yeah, like everything came from this book, like
Uh-huh.
or somebody told me this. Like it was trial and error. It was hiring the wrong people. Like it was me learning how to be a boss. I didn't know how to be a boss. I didn't know how to be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always wanted to be just in the room. I only wanted to be the esthetician.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met Steven, my partner, um, my friends actually say he was your first hire. Like he was your first hire because I went, with like, okay, this is what I'm looking on a partner. Like I had like that clear
Mm-hmm.
intention, and part of it was like I want somebody that is gonna help me grow my business, that is gonna be my cheerleader.
Yeah.
I cannot be with somebody that is like, oh no, like I don't care about your business.
Because it's
So
such a big part of your life. It's your
it's
baby.
it's my baby, it's
Mm-hmm.
my identity. I don't know anything else but my business.
Mm-hmm.
So we started working together, and I started coming to him for advice, and I got lucky that he was willing to share his
Yeah.
knowledge. So that's how I started building a whole system.
I love it. And you guys are in love, so
Yes, it
even
worked out. It worked out.
better. And you just got married, right?
Yes, we got
How
married
long ago?
in March.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so looking back, what would you tell your younger self when you were just starting out?
Mm, why wouldn't I tell her? Well, don't be impatient. Like when we're building a
Uh-huh.
business, we want everything now.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be successful now. We want to hit $100,000 in sales tomorrow. And it's something that I had to learn to like that, to get to a step. I had to work. towards it,
Mhm.
but also being honest to yourself. You know, like at the beginning, I tried to do waxing, I tried to do brows, I tried to do permanent makeup,
Mhm.
but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Like I realized that my skill was on facials. So also saying true to yourself, what do you really enjoy doing? I think that makes a huge difference.
Mhm.
That makes you more successful because whenever you're gonna see a client, you're gonna treat them with love and kindness, and it's not gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
here you are again. You know, like I have
Yeah.
to do these brows. I have to
Mhm.
wake up at 9 o'clock to go see this
Oh, they
client.
feel that.
They feel it, right? So I'm sometimes at the spa just hanging around,
Mhm.
right? Like at the beginning, like when you're first starting, you don't have clients back to back. You have
Mhm.
like 3 hours here, 3 hours there. So you just learn to really love what you're doing. So
Mhm.
loving what you're doing and being honest with yourself if you really love it. Like I tell people, if you're getting into this industry for the money that
Mm.
you think you can make, you're in the wrong industry. This
Mhm.
is an industry that you have to build your position. You have to build a relationship with your clients. You have to build your knowledge, your skills, and the investment in time and money that you have to put towards
Yeah.
is huge. So if you're entering this industry for the money,
Mhm.
you're in the wrong
Yeah.
industry.
You'll be miserable because I feel like it needs to be a passion. Like you need to live, breathe, eat
Mm-hmm.
like your business because that's what I do, but I am obsessed with it. Like I'm
Exactly.
addicted
Me
to it.
too.
So it doesn't feel like work.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like work for me. Like if
Mhm.
I could, like somebody one time they asked me, if you will do this for free,
Mhm.
then you're in the right job and career.
Mhm.
And that is me. Like if I could just give free facials to
Uh-huh.
everybody, I would, right? I cannot because I have to make a living, but if
Uh-huh.
I could, I would, right? So and that always stuck out with me. I'm like, if you love it enough to do it for free, then you're in the right
That's so
career.
true. Because
Hmm.
I always imagine like, oh, I'm gonna get married and my husband is gonna be like really like rich and most of my money is gonna come from him. But I know I'm still gonna be doing this and it's gonna
Yes.
be because it's my passion. Like I can
Mm-hmm.
never just not do it, you
Yeah.
know?
If somebody asked me, like, if Steven will come and tell me, hey, you can be a housewife, I'll be like, I'm gonna do a room here in my backyard and I'm
Uh-huh.
just gonna do facials. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I actually in our new home I have like a whole setup for me with all my creams
Oh
and
my God.
like everybody's always like, oh, that's your beauty room.
That sounds
I'm like,
amazing.
yes, and Steven is always getting embarrassed with everybody that comes to the house and they just see creams everywhere.
It brings out like your inner child too, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So I know you talked about like possibly opening a school in the future. Are there any other exciting plans that you have?
Well, besides planning my second wedding,
Ooh.
I'm actually we're gonna be rebranding
Mm-hmm.
the business. The business already needs the next level of
Uh-huh.
luxury, so we're gonna be rebranding a little bit. Still working with all the legality of it because of course I'm Cici Skincare, but I feel that that's more of my personal brand now. You know
Mm.
how you say people recognize me as Cici Skincare, but now that
Yeah.
I have a team, I'm also working on setting them up for success and develop their skills so they are no longer compared to me when
Mm.
when clients are coming to do their facials.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, rebranding is coming soon.
Yeah. Because
Mhm.
everyone's looking for, oh, where's Cece? Like I
Yes,
want a
yeah.
facial from Cece.
Yes, everybody's like, no, but I want Cici. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, but I train her. She's exactly like
Mm-hmm.
me. Like the facial is the same. And they're like, no, but I want Cici. So like now we're gonna be rebranding that. Mhm.
Okay.
And
I love
hopefully
it.
opening a school next
Oh
year.
my gosh.
Mhm.
Next year?
I mean,
That's
well,
that I
starting
think
next
it's gonna
year.
happen. Oh my
I would
God, it's gonna
love
be so
that. That
amazing.
would be one of my dreams.
Well,
Yes. Mhm.
congratulations
Thank
and thank you
you.
for coming and
Thank
sharing so much
you.
because we do have like a lot of listeners that are a lot of them are younger too,
Mm-hmm.
or they're just like they've been an esthetician for a while and they're just looking for more inspiration. And I feel like you really gave a lot of value.
Oh, thank
So thank you
you.
so
I hope
much.
everybody can enjoy.
Okay, where can our listeners find you?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram at Cici Skincare Miami
Mhm.
or at my location. You want me to say the address?
If you want.
Well, we're right here, like 20 minutes away in Sunset Drive on 67.
Alrighty. Bye, guys.
Bye.